For some of you, life is not hard because you're exhausted. Life is hard and you're exhausted because you're choosing the wrong way, the hard way, right? And trust me, I know. Let me tell you, I have been a dominatrix for over a decade as well as a hypnotist, and I help women unlearn all of the program that keeps you small, stuck, and help you move into your most authentic, audacious, and aligned life. And that is my gift if you stick with me and if you actually do the things that I help you with, right? That I instruct you to do, right? So I know your brain is already queued up with the hard things that you've done, with the words that you've heard when you were young about what you did wrong, right? About this talking in your head that is telling you that you're not good enough, that you're not worth certain things. This imposter syndrome, it's got you choosing the harder way to prove yourself and to get validation. I promise you, I understand. I've done it, I've lived it. Even every now and again, it comes back up. And I have to put myself back in the energy of exactly where it is that I'm looking to be and exactly in my power, my strength, to make sure I've set up my boundaries, to make sure that I am disciplined within myself, which, trust me, as someone who has been an enemy to consistency, I tell you that that was me choosing the hard way, right? So I want to tell you 5 ways that you are choosing the hard way that you may not even know, okay? So over giving, right? Because you're afraid of disappointing people. Now, in the end of that, who is the person that ends up being disappointed? Because there is no time or energy left for the most important person in your life. So that is something that we are going to have to release, right? And understanding it at least starts us on the path to releasing things that no longer serve us. So yes, that over giving to people who are going to allow you to overgive, unless they are your very small children, anyone who is allowing you to overgive to them and not telling you to make sure that you take time for yourself, which, let's be honest, most people are not going to do, right? Are not necessarily looking out for your best interests, right? The way that you are helping and supporting them allows them to win. But in the end of the day, you overgiving is making sure that you are not able to give to yourself sufficiently, right? So number 2, you try to earn rest, right? If I work hard enough, if I give enough, if I do enough, then I can rest. Then I can have pleasure. Then I can give back to myself. No, mamas. That is the opposite of how this is supposed to work. You have to give into yourself. We always hear the adage about being on the plane. And why would they tell you that at such a crucial time when it's actually life or death, right? To put on your oxygen mask first. Because if you do not put on your oxygen mask, that individual that you are trying to save, their life will be saved while you won't be spared. So, no more of trying to earn rest. Now we are moving into the space of recognizing that you absolutely need rest. Great day, great day. You absolutely need rest. You absolutely deserve rest. And it is imperative that you find your way to do something that's going to fulfill you, bring you pleasure, get you some sleep, okay? Take you a bath, enjoy a walk, get out into nature, make you some tea, honey girl. I don't know what you like, but rest yourself. Get up off your feet. Get up off of everybody else's to-do list and get back into you, love. So number 3, you keep saying yes when your body is screaming no. Okay, greetings. I'm not sure if you know that I have the Nice Girl Rehab, right? You can find it at nicegirlrehab.com. So the thing is that one of the things that is so important, especially for women, is learning how to say no, for men too, of course. But you have to learn how to say no when your body, when your mind, when your spirit is screaming no, right? You need to allow that to come out of your lips. And if you need some, it's a great day. If you need some support with that, then go to gpt.nicegirlrehab.com and you will have scripts to help you say no. You will have role play inside of that AI to help support you with giving back to yourself, with hearing the words that are in your head that are causing you to be guilty. It will help you to actually play that out, hear those words out loud, and find different ways to say no, whether you want it to be a nice sweet tone or you need it to be an audacious dominatrix inspired tone. Okay, and remember that no is a complete answer. That is Joy I over there in the GPT at gpt.nicegirlrehab.com. Go ahead and let her get you together with saying no, with putting yourself first, with even creating a peace calendar. Okay, that is something that is going to help you automate and pre-decide part of your life so that you don't have to keep making all these decisions over and over and over. Now you can start to actually make room for you to have rest, for you to have peace, and for you to say yes to yourself. So, number 4, you think struggle means you're doing it right. I guarantee you, I would not have been in Mexico for over a year now if I stayed with this mindset that I needed to struggle, that I needed to put everyone before me, that I needed to give to everyone before I gave to myself. I gave myself a year-long sabbatical out of the country that I'm still actually enjoying. We'll see where the next stop is, but that I still am absolutely enjoying, and gave myself time, space, and peace. Right? If you don't know, I came here last year to celebrate my 40th birthday just for a month. Right? I just wanted to come to Mexico for a month, and a year and a month later, I'm still here because when I came, I realized I really love this energy. I really love this peace. You know, I felt it in my spirit. So I said yes to myself because my body, my mind, my spirit was screaming out yes to me. When is the last time that you have given to yourself in that way? Right? When is the last time that you have done something that most people would think is crazy, but you knew that it was the right thing for you? And I'm going to get to the messages in just one moment. I'm not ignoring you. But number 5, okay, of the ways that you are choosing the hard way, that's what this is about, okay, is that you silence your desires to stay relatable, right? It's absolutely what we go through in the Nice Girl Rehab, releasing this need to suffer, right? Pain, sure, that's a part of this life game, but suffering is optional and it is actually a choice, right? So we actually get you to decide what it is that you want, where it is that you are looking to go, and to close that gap with allowing you to have it, right? Not waiting until you're 50, 60, 70 years old, right? Having it. And we won't even speak of the time frame because depending on you, depends on how long that would take, right? There is definitely a framework and some mechanisms that allow you to do things like this in your life rather easily, right? But it starts with you moving beyond the suffering first and foremost, and recognizing that you deserve more than that you are worth so much more than that, right? And your desires, they are given to you for a reason, right? No one else is going to understand why you have certain desires in your life. No one else is going to be able to hear that calling on your life. I love the meme that says it was not a conference call, right? No one else is going to be able to tell you what is best for you. So you should probably stop giving them the opportunity to. Okay? Please. All right? And allow yourself to figure out what your pleasures are, to figure out what a paradise of a life looks like to you, to figure out that maybe what you're doing now and the decision that you made 10 years ago, maybe that has run its course. Maybe it's time for you to do something a little bit different, for you to give to yourself. Okay? So, no, do not go beyond and skip past your pleasures, the things that are calling you and giving you enthusiasm in life. That's how you know that you are choosing the hard way. And what you have now is what you will continue to have. So if now you continue to have struggle, misery, people draining you, everything to complain about, right? No gratitude, then that is the energy that you are creating more of, right? What you have today is something that you created in the yesterdays, right? And what you will have in the tomorrows, in the futures, will be what you are creating today. So these are the 5 ways, we'll just go back through them quickly, that you are choosing the hard way. Number 1, you overgive because you're afraid of disappointing others, okay? 2, you try to earn rest because you don't recognize that you absolutely deserve it. And that helps you to give even more without the burnout. That helps to make you even more resilient. That helps to keep you in a great attitude and great energy. And that is the energy that you actually want to be giving with, okay? Number 3, you keep saying yes while screaming no inside. Again, you can go to gpt.nicegirlrehab and get your 24/7 accountability partner who is going to help you say no, give you different ways to say it, help you have a more peaceful schedule for you leveraging AI so that it can take many things off of your plate, help you automate your life and pre-decide things that you keep doing over and over and over that are taking up your time. Okay? Number 4, you think struggle means you're doing it right. No, honey. Struggle means you're going to have more to struggle about. Okay? So that's why even when we're going through what we will call struggle in our life, we are grateful for everything that we have. We are grateful for all the opportunities that come up from what we call this struggle, this challenge, right? That it allows us to be more creative, that it allows us to use our brain, right? It allows us to see ourselves in a different energy. And now with AI, okay, we have things that are going to help us leverage that, right? And continue to be in our best, most magnetic energy that is going to bring everything that we are calling forth in our life. Okay, and number 5, you silence your desires to stay relatable. If you don't like them people life, and you don't like what those people are doing, you may not want to, 1, share your goals with them, okay? Because sometimes your goals are just bigger than those around you could even comprehend. So all their mind can do is find words to help talk you out of it. So you might want to just relax on that a little bit, right? But for you personally, you want to take time to figure out what your desires are. What are the pleasures that you want in your life to live out in real time right now? Okay. And of course, if you don't know, along with being a dominatrix for over a decade, I was also a hypnotist. It was my niche, right, in that world. And so helping people literally say okay to themselves, to move past being in guilt for what it is that they desire in their life is a big part of what I've done for a long time. Right? Helping them have the mindset that releases the guilt for them having pleasures, for them having desires, most of which are actually not even sexual in nature, funny enough, right? So I know how important it is for you to be a whole, rounded, full human being, right? The God on earth who is living here, expanding, creating, right? Experiencing life. So you can absolutely choose the hard way. You can absolutely work your ass off. You can absolutely complain, be around people who think small, and be the next person, right? In the circle, you are the sum of the 5 people you hang around, okay? And that includes those who you have mentoring and coaching you, okay? So you can absolutely choose that hard way, or you can decide that that hard way is a bit out of date. And while you had to use that, while you were programmed in that way and continue that for the protection, especially of your inner child who is still living, right? And still growing inside of you and still telling you the way to live your life based off of what you were programmed with when you were a child, right? You can continue and make a choice in either direction. I just came to tell you the 5 ways that you are choosing the hard way, and this is coming from someone who has chosen the hard way, right? Recovering perfectionist, recovering whatever the hell it is that you can think of, okay? And like my therapist once told me, when I asked, right, what is the one most common thing that he finds with everyone who comes into his office or seeing him online, which I did, right, was that everyone, no matter where they come from, no matter what is in their bank account, no matter what they look like, all are dealing with feeling like they're not good enough. Let that land for a moment, okay? Everyone is dealing with not feeling good enough, but good enough for what, you ask? And good enough compared to who, you might ask? Yes, that is part of the game, to try to get you to feel stuck, to not feel that you're worthy, to not allow yourself to have pleasures, to keep you in burnout. That is part of the game. And as long as you continue to choose the hard way, that is the result. So I just need you to know that there is another. And whether I'm the person who helps you along that journey or not, please allow yourself to have the help, because you deserve it. And if you prefer the hard way, nothing wrong with that either. So, so thank you for listening. Now I will go through greetings, the chat. Oh, Chelsea's so funny. I love it. So, Violet, thank you. I've been single 5 months after 4 years of giving everything to my ex. Never again. Say no, ladies. Yes, and if you need any help with that, please check GPT, right? gpt.nicegirlrehab.com, and get help on those ways to say no, on those ways to put yourself first in your schedule. There's even a detox diary in there. This is the Nice Girl Detox. Okay, Nice Girl Rehab Detox GPT that I am sending you to. And if you'd like to be part of the community that we go even further into this newer community, less than $5 a month, you can find that at nicegirlrehab.com. But I'm so glad that you got yourself out of that, okay? And now that you are giving back to you. And allow yourself to go through all of the emotions that come up with that, right? Even take it into the GPT so you don't have to have other people pay for that, right? What you've gone through. And just know that you are not alone, right? Most people, especially women, have an issue saying no without guilt and giving to themselves. That again is part of the program. So that is why I'm creating things to help you specifically, and different tools, especially with AI, so that we can leverage that, so that we can give back to ourselves, have more time to give back to ourselves, have more energy, take some things off of our plates. Of course, as well as using some of the modalities to really help you get back into yourself. Oh, happy birthday, happy birthday. I think that makes you a Virgo as well, since we're new in Leo season. So happy birthday, my fellow Virgo. Oh, no, I got that, okay. Nope, no cartels, no cartels. When you're not involved in the drug game, somehow they just kind of, you know. Oh, I would never need any kind of extra monsters. For my fun, oh yes. Oh, I'm glad you feel so much lighter. Yes, you can never love someone more than you love yourself, right? Imagine being with someone, right? And their whole life is just you. While that might sound like that's cool in the beginning, that becomes very, very tiring very quickly. And you want to be the best of yourself and have them to be the best of themselves. So you come together. And guess what that allows, right? But that just ends up being just a codependent relationship that ultimately ends up hurting both. So, hello, Robert. Great day. Nice to meet you. Thank you. Yes, I am. I have been in Mexico for over a year, absolutely loving it. And we're going to be traveling more soon. So I'm super excited about that. We're definitely going to keep our space in Mexico, though. Number five is not romantic since years ago, but I have finally realized that I have to decenter men as well. Yes, you ultimately have to decenter everything outside of yourself first, right? You have to be the center of your life. I did write a book years ago called Selfish is the New Sexy, and that is all about giving yourself what you want to receive from the world, right? And giving yourself what you want to give to the world, right? We're taught things backward, right? And we made selfish a word that makes women feel guilty as well. No, baby, you have to be self-centered. If you're not giving to you, who is, right? That's when you go out into the world and you try to find someone to fill a void, right? When you give to yourself, guess what? You don't have a void for someone to come in and use against you, right? You are filled, you are whole, you are complete within yourself. That's why I love helping women to be authentic, audacious, and aligned, right? We definitely talked about the Nice Girl Rehab, but I also have a group called Unleashed that are ready for women ready to go even further along their journey to truly step into, right, that dominatrix energy that is already inside of you. That woman who says yes unapologetically, that woman who walks with her head high, who understands that she is worthy and gives herself, right, everything that she desires, and then she can command from the world, and somehow the world just starts to bend at your will when you recognize who you are. So life got really shrunk to him. I'm very capable of having a life outside of him, but he was scared of leaving the house and me doing things outside of the house too, so I slowly just got stuck. Wow. that that's so many sisters' story, that it's ooh, my heart just truly goes out to that. It's okay though. Took myself on a trip for my 40th. I'm seeing my friends again. Thank you for inspiring others. Oh my God, yes. Yes. I want to say your name right. Ndaku. Let me know if I'm saying that, if I'm pronouncing that right. But yes, all the love to you. We are sending it out to you. All that love you giving to yourself, homegirl. That is what it is about. Yes. That's why you can see that if you end up in indica like the weed. Indica. I love it. Thank you for correcting me. I appreciate that. Yes, indica. That's why it's so important to give to you first, right? To be selfish first, to give to yourself first, right? Because guess what? If your partner had been doing that, there's so many amazing things y'all could have been doing together, right? Versus being stuck in the house, one dealing with somebody's insecurities, right? And of course, he's probably showing you that there's some areas that you're insecure also, right? This is a work that we are doing, right? He was showing you some of your wounds, some things that needed to be healed, right? And you allowed yourself to do that healing instead of being stuck because you saw that wasn't healthy. Just congrats to you, man. Much love. I'm loving all the journeys of women everywhere and I'm soaking it up. So you got a new subscriber. Thank you, love. 100%. He taught me a huge lesson. Yes. And that's how we can stay in a gratitude energy, right? Even around these relationships that may not have been the best while we were in them. They may have stopped us. They may have helped us lose ourselves. That happens too often. And when they're done, right? Or as we're starting to really start to pick ourselves up, be inspired from people. I have to love the internet for us being able to be inspired by so many amazing people and their journeys, right? that we can absolutely see how these relationships, how these partnerships, how these business relationships, how they are teaching us about ourselves, right? I had a relationship, a friendship not too long ago remind me of where my boundaries were in certain places, right? Because even though we're on this journey, it's okay to say, "Oh, almost got tripped up." Okay. "Oh, almost got me there." Can't catch me though. Okay. Wishing you all the best on your journey and congrats on being able to care for yourself in Mexico. Beautiful to see. Thank you so much. And we get into more around that because that is something that I'm absolutely teaching the ladies, and we are going to be going through in the Nice Girl Rehab as well as Unleashed, how we can really leverage AI, how we can leverage neural activation, right? Rewriting those pathways, especially, sending extra love to the little girls, the inner child inside of us, to be able to help them, to help us live out the dreams that we had when we were young, right? To help us to move on the inspiration that we have, right? That to help us choose a different path, right? Because it's okay if we made a decision 5 years ago, 10 years ago, a year ago, to say that that no longer serves me. And I'm actually going to give myself the ability to choose something different right now in this moment, no matter how anyone else feels about it. Remembering that no is a complete answer, okay? And if explanations are asked for, that no still stands. And of course, I am going to put in the link, the GPT, to help you say no in different tones, to help you release that guilt, to help you make a peaceful calendar. And you can just ask her how she can help you. That is the Nice Girl Detox GPT, to help you really make way, make room, and make time to give to yourself all the things that you've been doing all of this hard work and suffering for, right? We just went through the 5 ways that you're choosing the hard way, but now we're going to move into you allowing yourself to take the easy way, to take the most aligned way, right? You have been already going on the path of least resistance, because the path of least resistance takes you to what's familiar. And if you don't like what you are familiar with, then that means that you might need a new neural activation. So we are definitely using the tools, the framework that I have built around that, AIM. We will definitely be talking more about that inside, especially in the Nice Girl Rehab. And that is for under $5 a month. That is $55 a year. NiceGirlRehab.com. Jump in there, because that price will not be staying there. I am saying that on camera because I made that so cheap so that I could help as many people who were called to be helped in this way, right? So powerful. The path of least resistance is what's familiar. Absolutely. Absolutely, right? We speak of the path of least resistance, but we don't understand that if we have been trained to suffer, if we have been trained to put ourselves last, if we have been trained to put everyone above us, then that is the program that's running. That is the path of least resistance. That's why saying yes to you feels guilty. That's why you can't just say yes to you, no to them, and move along and do what's pleasurable for you without thoughts coming back in. Oh, maybe I should have said that. Well, maybe they're going to be worried. Well, maybe they won't like me no more. Well, maybe they're going to be like, oh, you think you all that. Look, how many of us heard you thought you was all that in high school? Yes. Yes. I am not the one who thinks I'm all that. You're the one who said it. So who actually thinks I'm all that? Well, as you could tell, I totally heard that, but which is suffering for way too many of us. Absolutely. That path of least resistance for most is leading to what's familiar, which is suffering, which is pain, right? And we know pain is part of the journey, right? It's just one of those things that comes up at times with challenges. But being grateful for the pain. Quick story. I realized that I was creating a situation, right, when I went into a relationship. And, there was a couple red flags there, but, it looked like 6 flags, for a little bit. So I put myself into this relationship and realizing that it wouldn't work in a few months, and getting serious about what it was that I actually wanted in life outside of this person to want me, right, was that I wanted more, right? And I recognized that this person didn't want the same things. Doesn't make them a bad person, just means we're not aligned. And as I said, I am all about helping women. I first had to help myself, still on the journey at times, right, of helping myself be the most authentic, audacious, and aligned version of me, right? So as I'm working that out and how I can be that in my life, I'm recognizing that I created this person in my life and I said yes to this relationship ultimately because I needed to make him an obstacle, right? There were things that at that time I didn't have courage yet to do. So I needed to have him as an obstacle to say, you know what, I can't do that because he doesn't want me to. Does that even mean? Right? Of course I can still do it if another human being doesn't want me to do it. They get the opportunity to do what is it that they want to do in their lives, and so do you. And I had to recognize that being in this relationship was not more valuable than the calling on my life. It was not more, but going through the pain of that did push me. The pain of that relationship gave me a fire under my ass that I had not been able to cultivate in myself, right? That's why they say when women break up, get out of relationships, we got a degree, we travel in the world, we got a new job, we done lost 30 pounds, right? And it sounds funny, but think about it like that. The pain of what you went through in that relationship was something that helped to propel you forward into your own healing that you may not have even seen that was needed without that relationship. So that is something to be grateful for. That man pushed. I had another quick story time. We'll talk about a little bit more later, where I had a brother who robs me. Okay, because I ain't want to be with him no more. So that brother robbed me. Yep, just like it sounds. Okay, we ain't gonna talk about what he took. It hurt my little soul at the time. Okay, but you know what? After that, it put me in a different energy. I took a little time to heal, but within the next few months, I had decided that I was going to go away to school, right? An angel came my way and said, you know what? You don't want to grow older, and realize that you never went away to college and had the campus experience, because I was in community college at the time, right? And I really took that to heart. And I'm so grateful for that advice, because within a few months, I was in Europe studying, right? Transferred from that community college, took most of my credits with me, right? Not all, okay? But it was also a cheaper way for me to take those classes, right? So worked out, right? Beneficial. But I was in London, right? Studying. The first time that I had left the small bubble, right? Right outside of the city that I grew up in Plainfield, New Jersey, right? It was the first time that I had actually traveled by myself, that I got a passport, right? And that I traveled to another country, to another continent, right? Not knowing anyone, right? Just having the support of my school. And within, after the first semester of being there, found myself an apartment and moved out of college campus because I thought they was overcharging and I wanted a more authentic experience. Right? So just know that the things that you have gone through in life, and even though things have been hard, some of which you've been making hard, that there was a reason for all of it. And there's lessons in all of it. And there are things that you can take while you are moving to this next level in your life, right? Because you're not starting brand new, right? You are starting with the experience. You are starting with the lessons, the knowledge, the wisdom, right? And you already know what it looks like to do it the hard way. So now if you need a permission slip, you can give yourself the permission slip to allow it to be easier, to allow it to be with ease, to allow it to be with pleasure, to allow yourself to have fun, to allow yourself to learn new technology, to allow yourself to get a coach, to allow yourself to join a community of people who will support you, uplift you, make you recognize that you are the greatest version of you even right now, and help you step into that energy and know it yourself, right? So let me just check in the messages. Indica, yep. I said no to many things over the past 4 years that I didn't want to say no to in order to keep the relationship. I'm so glad that you're recognizing that, right? There's so much power in recognizing that. Now you can do something about it, right? The link's gonna be in the chat to help you out, okay? It was actually the relationship with his mother that I desperately wanted to keep because I was estranged from my own family. That's the wound I have to attend to. I definitely understand that. And funny enough, because I actually did keep in touch with my previous partner's family, because I did love them, right? I got rid of him, but I kept the family. The sister was the angel who came into my life who told me that you don't want to go through this time and let this time pass by without you going away and having that college on-campus experience. She was actually the one that I needed. So while it may sound strange for some human beings, right, to say that you shouldn't keep in touch with family members, that's your family too. They came into your life for a reason as well. And as long as you are keeping boundaries up, as long as it is a healthy relationship, then you can keep that, because that for me is part of what got me on the path of choosing myself, was my ex-boyfriend's sister. Okay, they also helped me not go after that nursing degree too. Okay, so they can be very beneficial in many ways, right? I told her I didn't want to see blood, and she was like, girl, it's much worse than that, so you might as well just change your major. And I'm glad I listened. Okay, took me down a whole nother world. Okay. She actually asked him if it was okay to keep contact with me, and she told me I needed to be free of him to be happy. It made all the difference. Yes, his mom has been amazing. I don't know if we got the same ex-mama, okay, because Miss Daisy told me the same thing. Miss Daisy told me the same thing. She knew her son was not right for me, okay? Absolutely love me, absolutely love her. And yes, look, that's your relationship too, okay? Right? You can lose the partner, but know that, hey, one of those reasons why that partner may have come into your life was so that you could have his family too, okay? I don't care what nobody say, right? That's saying like, you know, if someone introduces you to someone, if you're not friends anymore, you can't be friends with them. I get the sentiment, but is this high school? That's another way to know that our inner child is running things, right? Because that's very much how we would operate in high school and elementary school. No, you love him, right? And you can still love him and recognize that you're not in alignment with him, and you can still love them. Okay, this has made my Sunday start beautifully. Thank you so much for doing this. Thank you, and thank you for being here, Indica. Today is the first Sunday where I'm starting every Sunday. I will be here at 12 Central, my time, which is 1 Eastern Standard Time. And you will always see me inside of my groups. I will be doing pop-ups. Definitely will be doing more shorts. I'm also a use case for myself. So you'll be seeing more of me leveraging AI to make my life much easier, to allow me to be even more in the energy of being able to do more, to share more, to help more, to express more, to reach more. So you will definitely see exactly what that looks like. And I'm going to actually be doing a complimentary Zoom for women who would like to use AI to leverage, to leverage AI to make your lives easier, right? To take a lot of tasks off your plate, to give you more, right? To automate some things in your life so that you can take more time to give into yourself, and even to help you with the businesses you might be looking to create, the books that are inside of you that haven't come out, right? Whatever it is that you have been sitting on and waiting to get out because you just could not have the feelings around you actually feeling like you can do it, or you didn't have the time, or you didn't have the energy. I'm so excited to truly bring more you know, just technology to you. And the neural activations, we're definitely doing those in Unleashed as well as the Nice Girl Rehab to bring these tools to you, like the Nice Girl Detox GPT. There is so much more coming on the way. Actually, we have the Dominatrix GPT coming as well to help you be the dominatrix in your own life. There is so much coming. Of course, Selfish is the New Sexy is the book. I will be sharing that link again. It's in, actually, I think the paperback right now, we've got to get that together, but the audiobook and the ebook are available. I did record that in my voice, and I'm super, super excited about just being able to reach more women and just to give you the spark. It's just the spark, right? As this new name of this channel, the Nice Girl RX, it is the spark that to me is the prescription to help you get back into yourself. Be the most authentic, audacious, and aligned version with you. And now with AI, there is nothing that we cannot do, okay? There is nothing that we cannot do if it is something that we want and choose to do. So while the hard way is your path of least resistance, there is an answer, there is another way. And I'm so excited to just be the spark to help you on that journey. So peace and love right now. Thank you so much for all who joined. Thank you so much for all of the comments in the chat. I will definitely see you next Sunday as well. Be a little bit peekaboos in between, but I definitely appreciate you all. Peace and love for now.